Since the founding fathers, the love of the land is something buried deep inside of us. It is our heritage, our history, our passion. And we are its greatest stewards. From the smallest blades of grass to the widest of nature's wonders, this is who we are. This is Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land. Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Polaris Off-Road, Think Outside, Winchester Ammunition and Firearms, the American legend. Hayden Outdoors, the brand that sells the land. Outdoor Lending, we find the best loan for your land. Western Heritage Consulting and Engineering, envision, design, build. CONTERRA, financing American agriculture. And True Timber, the world's best-selling camo.
Welcome to Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land. I'm your host, Allen Treadwell. On this episode, we start in Colorado, on an exceptional ranch near one of the most select trout fisheries in North America. Before we head to Missouri to check out a property Agent Jeff Levin has listed, and then it's off to Wyoming to check out a ranch with premier fishing, great hunting, and spectacular views. And finally, we wind up in Montana to check out a multi-generational legacy ranch with supreme elk hunting, recreational opportunities, and great cattle production. And while we showcase a few select listings on each episode of Hayden Outdoors, there's hundreds of properties from coast to coast listed at haydenoutdoors.com. Now, let's head to Missouri, where I had a chance to learn all about timber management in the Ozarks. You know, there's so many misconceptions when it comes to logging and managing timber on a property. But there are so many benefits when it's done right, but there's also so many variables to consider, and it can really be overwhelming if the landowner hasn't done his homework to try to figure out exactly what's best for the property and the situation. And that's why I was so excited to meet up with Dusty Clinton, a reputable logger in the area, to talk about all the possibilities. Dusty, thanks for hauling me around today. You know, I'm pretty excited to learn a little bit more about timber. I grew up in southern Missouri. I've been around it. My grandfather was a logger, but I don't know as much as I want to know.
Well, it's kind of hard to describe a lot of it also because it all varies so much by species, and different parts of the country, the species are different from southern Missouri to northern Missouri, east and west, and the markets are different also, depending on what mills are closest to where you're from.
You know, one thing I'm really excited about today is I know we're going to get a chance to look at basically three different properties. One that you're buying, that's kind of raw land. One that you've currently bought and are working on. And then one that you've been on and done the entire process to and kind of see the final product. So that's going to be real neat to see kind of the three-stage tiers of what it takes to really turn a timber property into something functional like a cattle farm. You know, talking to Dusty, it becomes evident pretty quickly just how important it is to consult with a logger that you can trust when coming up with a management plan that's going to be most beneficial for you, the landowner. You know, you mentioned the timber, you know, being different, the market being different just in the state of Missouri. So really, you know, with Hayden Outdoors being across, you know, nearly 30 states now, out west to the southeast to the northeast and, you know, the Midwest, I mean, there's timber markets in all of those areas, but they're all so different and unique to the area. So yeah, would you recommend if a guy coming in wanting to know something more about it to get a good knowledgeable timber person in that area?
Yes, and most of it, you know, people that come in and they want to do something, you know, from out of state, a lot of them, they don't have a clue what their timber's worth. And a lot of times it's a one-time deal in your lifetime. You know, if you're managing timber and you're wanting to grow timber, it needs to be cut like in this area every 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
You know, it just depends on the landowner and what they want. There's just so many variables of it and what they want, and they need to kind of do their homework to see what they want.
So this is a brand new property that you're just purchasing. What are you looking for when you first look at a property like this?
Yeah, Alan, like right in here's a pretty good stand of timber. Is one reason we're kind of interested in it. The amount of board feet per acre, diameter, and the height. That's where all your volume comes from.
Dusty, one thing that kind of intrigues me, and you know, myself or an average guy, if you walk into a big chunk of timber like this, mainly what you're looking for is how many board feet or dollars per acre that's going to produce, right?
Yes.
Is there certain things you can look for to kind of help you decide what it's worth?
Well, you know, like a good rule of thumb around here, if you're wanting to select cut a place, we try to look for something that's got at least 2 tie logs in it for railroad ties.
Okay.
And that takes a minimum of a 12-inch on the small end tree. You know, like this tree right here, that'll have 2 tie logs in it.
Okay.
So we try to take them and bigger out. And it's really hard to tell the price per acre or something like that, because that's what I do for a living.
Yeah.
So I kind of know. But the best deal is to let somebody that's in the business to kind of give you an idea.
So you take a property like this, and you know, this is pretty good flat country right in here. So it would turn into wonderful pasture. It'd make a great food plot, you know, and basically if I'm the landowner buying this and I want to talk to you, what I want to do here, I need to have a plan for you that says, man, I'd love to have some timber left because I want some food sources for my deer. I want to have some food plots in the area, or I'm strictly a cattle guy, and the more grass you can make me, the better.
Yeah.
Talk about the conservation side of timbering, because I think a lot of people have a misconception of when a timber crew comes in, maybe it looks like a bomb went off, you know, and
Yep.
you know, I mean, I know there's a huge conservation side to timbering.
There is, and it's actually better for your land because it gives these animals a habitat to hide in the tops and all that. In about 2 or 3 years, after the first year, it's going to look a lot different. But after about 2 or 3 years, and those tops all start coming down to the ground and rotting away.
You know, like I said before, there's so many different factors to consider when putting your management plan together. Whether you're cutting open pastures for livestock, you need to consider patches of timber for summer shade, or whether you're cutting strictly for hunting, or a combination of the two, it's just important to really take your time and do your research to find a logger that you can trust.
This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by CONTERRA, financing American agriculture. At Hayden Outdoors, we truly value our team of professional land brokers and agents. They are knowledgeable individuals, share our love of the land, and are dedicated to excellent work ethics and attention to detail. We are currently seeking experienced land professionals from coast to coast to join the Hayden team. If you believe you're a good fit, please contact us at 866-741-8323. We look forward to hearing from you.
The Winchester Model 70, the rifleman's rifle.
CONTERRA Ag Capital isn't just another lending institution. We are a nationwide network of ag experts ready to meet the financial needs of farmers and ranchers in rural America. CONTERRA understands ag loans are never one size fits all. We listen to our clients so we can get the whole picture, not just numbers on a spreadsheet. We are there with boots on the ground. CONTERRA, real people, real ag experts. Visit CONTERRAAG.com to learn more.
This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Western Heritage Consulting and Engineering. Envision, design, build.
Now let's head to Montrose County, Colorado to check out a property Agent Greg Little has listed, Tailwater Ranch.
Located directly across the road from one of the most select trout fisheries in North America sits the roughly 320-acre Tailwater Ranch. Only 15 minutes from Montrose, Colorado in the Black Canyon of the Gunnison River. The water rights on this ranch are incomparable, while the big game hunting on the ranch and neighboring BLM land is second to none with mule deer and elk in the fields every evening. The fully working ranch produces tons of hay, offers excellent grazing for horses, sheep, and cattle, and supports incredible elk calving grounds. The 3,200 square foot home has 3 bedrooms with 1 incredible master suite, 2 bathrooms, a gourmet kitchen, and a 2.5 car attached garage, completing one amazing Colorado ranch.
Now let's head to Howell County, Missouri to check out a property agent Jeff Lovin has listed, Deer Canyon Ranch.
The Deer Canyon Ranch is the perfect combination farm with incredible location, cattle pasture, timber, and multiple building locations. This roughly 280-acre property is located in northern Howell County, Missouri, and sits less than 3 miles from Willow Springs. It has an abundance of water in the way of 4 live springs and 6 ponds, while approximately 160 acres are an open pasture for livestock, allowing the ranch to support up to 50 cow-calf pairs or 120 feeder calves. The rolling terrain with timbered draws make for the perfect white-tailed deer and turkey habitat, as the ranch offers exceptional hunting. With excellent roads throughout and beautiful building sites, this property is an outstanding opportunity.
And finally, we're in Albany County, Wyoming to check out a historic ranch offering Seth Hayden has listed, Flying Horseshoe Ranch.
Hi, I'm Seth Hayden. I'm here to talk to you about the Flying Horseshoe Ranch. It's just south of Centennial, Wyoming. There's 2,400 acres of a contiguous operation that was founded in 1872. The border of the ranch has not changed since its founding, which is pretty unique. It features great fishing. There's over 4 miles of 2 year-round fishable creeks, one being the Little Laramie. What I really love about it is it's a hard bottom so that even during runoff, the water stays clean and it's fishable. There's another stream on there called Spring Creek that's a little smaller, but also holds fish year-round with brook trout, native cutthroat, browns, and rainbows. It borders National Forest for about 1.5 miles on the west side. And there's a 1,600-acre lease that you can run the cattle on in the summertime, and then it's a staging area for the elk. The hunting on the ranch is outstanding. The elk use it year-round. It's pretty amazing. I've been there all times of the year, and every time I've been there, there's 250 plus elk on the ranch that use it during the summer. They use it winter. Right now, the current owner has owned it for 28 years. It's run by the same hand the entire time. They've got 225 cows on it. They run pairs and produces between 650 and 1,100 tons of hay a year to get them through the winters. Averages about 850. The ranch also has 1,100 irrigated acres, and the water rights tie back to its founding in 1872, so they're about as old as you get in Wyoming. The biggest thing about the ranch is it offers everything from water rights to fishing to hunting, and it's 30 minutes from Laramie, just straight west. And it's paved road access within 1 mile of it, and that's hard to find these days.
This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Winchester Repeating Arms, the American legend.
It's what we've been waiting for all year. All the preparation, the early mornings and late nights. Hot, cold, wet or windy, Mother Nature isn't doing anyone any favors. From the piney woods of the south to the old-growth hardwoods of the east, through the ocean of Midwestern prairies and down deep into the marsh, you simply won't find more effective hunting camo. Gear for hunters, by hunters. Gear that works just as hard as those wearing it. Learn more about the world's best-selling camo at truetimber.com.
Winchester USA Ready Defense is a select grade of personal defense ammunition that offers a unique combination of stopping power, penetration, and reliable expansion. The innovative hex vent rigid insert shields the hollow point by channeling soft material for positive expansion and energy transfer. Built with match-grade primers for trusted reliability. Be ready when you need it most with USA Ready Defense.
The Slash Broken Box Ranch offers 1,400 acres just 15 minutes north of Steamboat Springs, Colorado, and features world-class hunting, fishing, and excellent livestock and hay production. The Elk River flows over a mile through the ranch and offers exceptional fishing and historic water rights. The ranch boasts a 3,000 square foot home with ample outbuildings for your storage needs. Elk hunting on the ranch is excellent with over-the-counter tags plus good hunting for mule deer, antelope, and upland game. For more information, call 866-741-8323 or visit HaydenOutdoors.com. This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Outdoor Lending. We find the best loan for your land.
Now let's head to Garfield County, Montana to check out a multi-generational legacy ranch agents Jim Digby and Mackenzie Green have listed, O'Connor Ranch.
The O'Connor Ranch has been in our family for 3 generations. That hill back there we've named Altar Hill because my grandpa Stutz in 1910 bought a horse from Teddy Blue Abbott and rode it out on that hill. Looked down here on the South Fork of the lodge pole and told the Lord if he would bless him with the land, he would try to be a good steward. And he has blessed us with this land for 3 generations now. Well, Grandpa Stutz homesteaded here in 1910. In the Depression, he lost the place and had to go out and herd sheep for the neighbor and buy it back then, when they sold it back for 50 cents an acre.
So. The O'Connor Ranch is a real diverse ranch with hay ground and meadows and high ground, pine trees, draws, coulees.
The ranch is just shy of 9,300 acres. Over 7,200 are deeded, and the remainder is in state and BLM lease. I think one of the best features of the ranch is the diversity. It's just a good place to run cattle, but also for a family that loves to hunt. There's mule deer, antelope, sage and sharp-tailed grouse. There are turkeys, pheasant. The owners have kept the hunting in the family for generations, so the elk populations have been preserved. It's not been overhunted at all, and they've got trophy elk all over the place.
Well, I'll tell you, last week here, we seen 45 bull elk. That ain't a record because one day here I counted 58 bull elk.
Location and the diversity of the landscape leads to high numbers of trophy bull elk, and it's really truly a special elk hunting place, but it's also a very productive cattle ranch.
We have quite a bit of flat land for farming and good grassland. As far as water goes, we got 8 wells, 2 pipelines, and also we have 1,103 retired acres of CRP, which is being used as hay ground right now. On a good year, we get 600 plus ton of hay off of that.
Well, there's 5 major pastures of about 3 sections each that are watered so that you can protect the growing season and alternate it in the pastures so your root system on your grass is always good. And also you can keep a fresh pasture to turn your cows in at breeding season. Besides it being so self-sufficient with the 600 ton of hay when it's a good year, it's enough hay to feed your cattle for 2 winters, you know. So. As you can see, we're getting old, and when we were raised as a Christian family, and equality in our family. And that's the only way that we can realize the sale of this ranch and be fair to all the members of our family. Consequently, we've decided to sell it. We're too old to take care of it.
This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by True Timber, the world's best-selling camo.
Outdoor Lending offers a consultative approach to farm and recreational land lending. With relationships in mind, Outdoor Lending's concierge service matches the lender with the appropriate lending partner. Outdoor Lending, where we find you the best loan for your land.
Learn more at outdoorlending.com.
The Winchester XPR. Experience performance.
Goodland, Kansas, 1976 is where it all began for Hayden Outdoors Real Estate. Over 200 brokers and agents from coast to coast. We're still going strong. If you want to sell your farm, ranch, hunting property, needing a land valuation, or in the position to purchase your next property, give our team a call at 866-741-8323. That's 866-741-8323. Or visit HaydenOutdoors.com. Hayden Outdoors is the brand that sells the land. This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Winchester Ammunition, the American legend.
So, Dusty, I'm looking at a bunch of this open ground right here, and it appears to me that the very next step in the process is to come in with your dozer and kind of push out a bunch of the underbrush and then leave the trees that you're wanting to take out.
Yeah, I've had a guy kind of had some extra time, so I had him in here for the last 2 or 3 months pushing all the brush out.
So is this done if you're just coming in and cutting a place, or is this done if you're turning it into pasture ground?
Yeah, just whenever we're dozing it to put grass back.
Okay.
Basically.
So the end goal of what we're looking at right here in a year or two is going to be warm season native grasses?
Yeah, or I mean, not all of it. I mean, we do a lot of course, fescues are main deal in this part of the country.
Yeah.
You can't hardly keep it out.
Kind of a unique situation right here because we're looking at maybe the next step and then right where you're at, and you turn around over here and you look over your shoulders and you actually see the timber cutting process going on. It's incredible the amount of equipment modern loggers like Dusty have, and they're able to come in and so quickly and efficiently get the job done. It's pretty amazing to witness the transformation. So Dusty, kind of walked me through the process here of actually, going from where you've just dozed the underbrush to now you're going to be removing trees.
Well, like first thing I'll do is I'll come in here and I'll cut the stump off, remove the tree, and market it for the species, the length. After we come through and cut it, then the dozers will come in and they'll pile the stumps.
So, what we're looking at here is we're turning timber ground into pasture ground, producing grass.
Yeah, on this property, yes. We own the land, that's what we want. We run cattle, we farm.
So I think, as a landowner, somebody buying land, we've talked about it before, but I don't think you can overemphasize, like, it's what you want as a landowner. Do you want to have some timber left where you can still hunt, have some producing acorn trees for the wildlife, or do you want it completely gone and grass for cattle?
But our ultimate goal here is really to make pasture ground out of it, and it's making our property worth more money than timber ground. It's the gain of what you get in the end.
Man, this is an awesome project. Awesome project. I'm pretty excited to get over to your place now to see, we've seen timber that's fresh and not done anything with. Now we've seen this process. Now I kind of want to go see what it looks like a few years down the road.
Yeah. Okay, let's jump in the buggy and we'll go see it.
It was fascinating to be able to see and talk to Dusty through all the steps of the transformation of a property, but also being able to get the chance to see a property they had already been on and cleared, and how quickly it becomes so beneficial in all the ways, especially for wildlife.
Yeah, so Alan, this is some of the land that we've cleared. It was all timber before.
All of this right up through here.
Yeah, we done this a couple years ago, and we've put it in some native warm season grasses.
So Dusty, just a couple of years ago, then this was all timber.
Yeah.
And you come in here and you reseeded it in warm season native grasses.
Yep.
This is one of the big misconceptions of loggers, right? I mean, you think about they come in and leave a huge mess and treetops everywhere, and it's going to be years before it can be utilized as anything, but it's pretty obvious you can make it look beautiful in a short amount of time.
The timber on this place here had been mismanaged, and that's one of the reasons why I done this to it.
Well, I'm looking, there's a big old pond down here in the bottom. Was that there? Is that something that you put in as you were working?
That's something we built about 4 ponds on this side of the property right now, and the cattle will basically be in here just in the summertime.
I guess the great thing about what you did here is you didn't destroy the habitat for the wildlife. This is actually probably better than it was before.
Yeah, when this native grass gets up head high on us, everything likes to live in that because it don't have to go very far to hide.
The fact of the matter is this now pasture ground is considerably more valuable than the timber ground was a couple of years ago. So you've added money to your farm while adding money in your pocket by removing it, you know, so it's kind of a win-win situation.
I want to say a big thanks to Dusty of Clinton Lumber Company for taking the time to have us out and to walk us through the process. It's guys like this that you want to seek out when you're thinking of logging and making the transformation on your property.
For more information on any of our great properties for sale, please call 866-741-8323 or visit us online at haydenoutdoors.com.